I will call to order the regular meeting of the Lisle Park District Board of Park Commissioners and Park District Recreation Center Multipurpose Room for Thursday, March 19th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Dan, can I have a roll call?
Sure. Commissioner Wessel.
Here.
Commissioner Tapella.
Here.
Commissioner Nadeau.
Here.
Commissioner Pereira.
Here.
President Peter.
Present. The rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No presentations this evening. Public comment, I do not see that we have any public in attendance this evening. We will close public comment with no public actually in attendance. I will entertain a motion to approve the meeting agenda submitted for Thursday, March 19th, 2026.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items inclusive of the March 2026 voucher list in the amount of $561,676.76. So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, can I get a roll call vote there?
Sure. Commissioner Wessel.
Aye.
Commissioner Pereira.
Aye.
Commissioner Nadeau.
Aye.
Commissioner Tapella.
Aye.
President Peter.
Aye, motion passes. Communications, I don't think there's anything at this month. We have no unfinished business to conduct this evening. New business, you have a memo in your packet from Dan regarding Commissioner Office term limits. This is not a voting item, this is just a informal discussion about amending the term limits as advised by legal and staff. As we have 1-year terms for the president and vice president, every year we vote on them, that technically that is what is that? I'll let Dan give a small brief. Yeah, not policing, but.
Sure. It just kind of summarized the memo. When I did some exploratory work in 2021, when this was first brought up, the concerns that we were given or that I was given that would caution the board against doing that, in my opinion anyway, they could present themselves in the near term. With the election a year from now, part of the concern was whether or not somebody with enough experience or even the willingness to serve in that capacity, you take that away, or you may impose that on someone who might not be willing to or be prepared to assume that role. And in addition to that, the way that the policy was before, with the 1-year terms that and every year you have the nominations and the elections, that's a policing mechanism in and of itself. So, for example, if somebody didn't want Commissioner Altpeter to serve as president, well, don't nominate her, or if she's nominated, then you don't have to support that nomination either. So I just thought it was timely to present it to this board now, and staff obviously doesn't have an opinion really one way or the other. It's just, it kind of reminded me, hey, this could be a potential concern in the coming year or so, particularly with what we have going on, not only with the potential new facility, but with just other transitions and big projects that are kind of looming on the horizon. So just for discussion purposes, and if it's something that you wanted to pursue, then I can present it for an action item next month, or even for this month if you wanted. But essentially, in the memo, it explains what the previous policy was and what the new policy is. And the new policy essentially just added that last that last sentence. So our recommendation is just to discuss it, and if you still feel the same way, great. If not,
Just provide it back to them.
right.
I know this was a topic that was brought up in boardmanship as well at conference. It's because with the amount of people that travel for their jobs, that they were recommending. That you give as much flexibility to your policies as possible. Does anyone have any comments on it? Direction for staff?
We vote every year, so we feel like.
Yeah, I mean, that's the, yeah.
I don't think I strongly about it one way or the other, to be honest with you. Actually, I guess I'm probably the only one that was on the board when we made this meeting. I just thought it was weird that we fought for it 4 years ago and now they got to move that was done. Or maybe that's just admitting you made a mistake. That's what I say.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I would say.
There's, yeah,
I
that was,
never want to tie the hands of any other board. I guess like that's where my opinion has kind of changed on it.
yeah,
That I wouldn't want to tie the hands of any other board after us. You know what I'm saying? To not.
yeah, no, I get it, yeah.
Well, I think too, in fairness, it was just coming off of when Don Cook had served as president for 20 years. You know, so I mean, don't beat yourself up too much over it. I mean, you just came off one where there was a long-standing president.
I mean, personally, I think the language that was added is too much restriction. I mean, I'd be more in favor of us considering removing it again. Just because, and I agree with what Wendy was saying, like, we still have the checks and balances in place in doing our annual election of the goals. But given also just the grouping, like we elect to cycle between either 3 to 4 members or 2 to 4 members potentially every time we do an election cycle. And my concern would be that if we had, and that's not necessarily what always happen, but if we're in a cycle where there's a president and vice president at the end of their term limit, according to this, and the three people that get elected are brand new board members, you're in a position where now you have to force a brand new board member into being the president, vice president, and I just think that that causes some complication that I don't think we would want to deal with.
And meeting fluidity.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that, just, yeah.
Do you guys remember, like, what was the, at the time when you decided to adopt the language, what was the driving factor on it? Was it just the fact that we wanted to make sure that we were getting fresh blood in and that we were cycling through, or what was the?
I don't, it was a member on the board, it wasn't been on the board anymore.
But it was, I mean, Dan mentioned it too, it was a little bit of a long time. I didn't serve with him, so I can't really speak to him, but he was president forever, so I think we wanted to make sure, like. We didn't really necessarily want to do that again, and so this was the attempt to make sure, like. That we could do that, but.
I think in the effect though, I do feel like that was a rare circumstance, it was a rare circumstance where that was happening.
Yeah, I think it was the right choice at the time, but I think someone should revisit it, 4 years later, like, oh, maybe that was the right call.
Yeah,
So do we wanna put it on?
direct staff, yeah, direct staff to just, to draft, to
Okay,
remove the provision from.
yeah, I'll put a recommendation for next month.
And then we vote on it next month?
Sure, perfect. Okay, thank you.
Alright. Thanks for always like looking at stuff. Staff reports, we have the new indoor recreation space, hopefully we get a chance to kind of look at that. Packet, I will look first, John, do you wanna kind of go over the novel with us?
Yeah, actually, we'd like to pull up the webpage, and kind of go over the contents of that, so I don't know if we need to. Locate how you're sitting, but it's obviously on the screen and showing on the Zoom video.
Can you see that okay? You want to dim the lights, or that's probably okay?
That's good. Yeah. So obviously a detailed update was provided in the board packet already, including these renderings that we'll talk through and information on the project specific webpage. But we felt it'd be important to just formalize it as a matter of public record. So especially because we will be using this webpage as our most up-to-date information that we provide along the way of the project. So we'll actually scroll to the bottom and work our way up. So pointing out just Tiffany Casardas, our marketing manager, created an excellent timeline, and overall all of the content on this webpage was her work. So She did a nice job of just outlining the fact that this has really been 3 years in the making. Back when we adopted our strategic master plan in April of 2023, the top recommendation of that plan was to pursue an indoor recreation space for multi-generations. And so we went through a few different steps to make sure we were accomplishing that. Last year, we spent 9 months of a process of doing the indoor feasibility study with our consultants and leading to a positive recommendation from the board to keep on moving. A lot of public engagement along the way, and ultimately led us to where we are today. So anyone that is interested in seeing the results of both those reports can go to this website and look at the results and hopefully get any of their questions answered. But most importantly, we wanted to highlight some of the really cool images that we have and just talk through the floor plan and what we envision for the proposed facility. So looking at this rendering, this would be the northeast corner, essentially as you enter by the stop sign to go into the Sea Lion Aquatic Park entrance. Hopefully you'll agree, we feel very strongly that the building design right now really feels like it's an enhancement of the community park as opposed to a standalone structure. So that was important to us. We really appreciate the fact that Williams Architect was able to put so much windows into the facility design, allowing for natural light to pour in and out of the facility. And then again, just creating that connectedness for people that are coming and going and feeling like it's a natural part of the park. This next view is showing from essentially the senior center parking lot, looking from the east over to the view in the evening. We really like the elegance of the building and just the uplighting that they have designed and that whole plan and approach just kind of shows the beauty of it on a hopeful summer night as you'll be looking at it from the current building parking lot we're in now. If you picture here, you're standing about in the Sea Lion Aquatic Park 2, the band shell will be to your right, and then the aquatic park is just off to the left of the screen. And you notice a few things about this image. If you look to the left side of the building here with the windows, that would be where, as you run around the track on the upper level, you're able to maintain visibility outward to the park and get that natural light. And the track itself also has a lot of windows that you're able to see as you go around the building in different aspects as well. Can you stay on there for 1 sec?
Yep, all right.
Another couple of cool things we want to point out is if the main windows right here are the fitness center, so you picture yourself on the cardio equipment looking out as you're exercising, you get great views of the park. And also the patio area that's right in front there too. That's an extension we feel of the building itself, so it allows some overflow from the inside outward, but also some extra space if we're having community events out in that area, informal gathering space for the public, and again, just kind of connects the building to what's going on in the park. And then the really cool design that I like a lot, and a lot of others have expressed compliments towards, is the corners of our buildings will have some glass as well, so that when you're in the gym, you'll have that natural light, but you'll also have that visibility of what's going on in the building, even as you're walking by, enjoying the outside of the park. So this would be the main entrance to the building. You'll see here's as you walk up, it's a nice, again, open concept. You can see in, you can see out, utilizing the windows to reflect the beauty of the park as well. So as we look at the floor plan, we're going to talk through some of all of the amenities, but also just what some of the programming we envision. The great thing about the proposed building plan is it does address 4 of the top 6 amenities that were identified as priorities as part of the feasibility study, with the number 1 unmet need as stated in the survey results being the walking and jogging track. So as you walk in from the north there through the right arrow, you're going to be passing right by the elevator shaft as you walk into the lobby. We envision the lobby space to be open, easy sight lines throughout the entirety of the building, allowing you to acclimate really quickly to your surroundings and rapidly know what you're there for and where to go for it.
All right.
The green square right here is the reception desk, so that will be used to obviously our staff members who are welcoming people, handling customer service, answering questions, assisting with check-in into the fitness center or anything else that might be going on. From the lobby, if you continue to the right on this way, you'll pass some administrative space that'll allow you, or that's where we'll have some staff offices, some, maybe a small conference room, a kitchen, that type of area, just for the staff working in that building to have, some private area and workspace. Continuing on the right side as you pass that, we do have men's and women's locker rooms, as well as a family change room in the middle right there. Continuing down over here in the pink area at the corner, that's our dance and group X studio. You'll notice that it's just over 1,300 square feet, which is really nice size for that space and allows us to expand our class sizes beyond what we're able to do now. And then the building design includes 2 hardwood IHSA certified gyms for a variety of athletics, community events, instructional programs. We envision having the courts lined for pickleball, basketball, and volleyball. And certainly they're going to be heavily used for a lot of our in-house programs, but we also plan to make an operating schedule that allows for free flow of open gym time throughout the week and weekend as well. You'll notice we have some bleachers placed on both sides as well too. We want to make sure we consider proper and adequate spacing for spectator seating, in addition to strong consideration of where we would place the team seating, whether that's for basketball or volleyball. We want to make sure that anyone using that space has ample space to perform their sport, but also to be viewing those performing it. Moving to the right, you'll see above and below the bleachers that separate the gymnasium and the MAC gym, there will be a divider wall, but on the top and the bottom of those bleacher areas, there is going to be, or there's planned to be, a garage door of some kind that allows for both isolation as well as connectivity if there's existing programs going on that need that crossover. However, this MAC gym, the multi-activity court gym, it's going to have a different surface that can take a little bit more of a beating than the hardwood gyms, and also still be lined for a variety of athletics. But it's going to be a little bit more multifunctional and serve greater purposes, as well as the most important thing is it's going to allow for concurrent programming. So for example, if we have an instructional class going on in the MAC gym here for group exercise, sorry, what's up with my we can also have a full court basketball class going on. We intend to have dividing walls going this way to separate this into 2, as well as dividers along the courts as well, and being able to outfit these where you can either play a full court or some smaller courts to just capitalize on being efficient with the space. The fitness center here, so we'll go back to the entryway. As you walk in, you'll check in with the front desk. You'll notice the lines here, those are representing the stairwell that would lead you up to the front. The entrance to the fitness center is intended to be right about here underneath the stairwell or adjacent to it, where you'll enter into the fitness area, which right now is at 3,886 square feet. The one office space, as well as the janitor closet and the single user restroom are not calculated in that 3,800. That's just additional space that's part of that area, but the fitness floor is just under 4,000 square feet. We envision a variety of strength and cardio equipment. Again, setting those up efficiently so it maximizes the space, but also allows for great views out those windows that we saw earlier. Then the remaining items on the first floor are really just the storage, the mechanical and receiving area, allowing us to serve the building the way we need to, and just help with any overflow from the items that we are losing at the community center as far as storage for a pool and other equipment as such. And then right here, this is an emergency exit stairwell. We'll talk more about that as we venture up the stairs to the next picture to show the upper level where the track is located. So you can either take the elevator or go up the stairs to the second level where the elevated walking and jogging track is. You'll notice as you come off the stairs, we plan to have fob control access points so that we can determine who's supposed to be up there and make sure we're making proper head count of what's going on. But up here we have over 1,000 square foot area for stretching. We anticipate having that outfitted with some mats for laying on the ground, some bands to help with stretching, and maybe some other specialty equipment that'll help with the overall functionality of that space. And then the track that will be going around all 3 of the gyms. It's about 9 laps to a mile, which is comparable to Fort Hill and Naperville's size and scope. And then it's fun to point out that we have an open to below concept. So if you're standing up at the top of the track, looking down, you'll be able to see all the things going on in the gymnasiums, and likewise, when you're down below in the gym looking up. And one thing I should have pointed out too, from the first floor as you enter, we've been to a couple facilities lately with Carroll Streams, Fountain Valley View being one of those. And they have walls in the hallway that are all glass and allows you to see into the gyms, the aquatics area and all that. So we anticipate having the design include glass walls here, so that as you walk in, you get really full connectivity of everything going on in the facility. And just, you know, creates that community sense, which we're hoping to achieve with this type of layout. So as far as the building, those are the amenities we want to talk about. Those are the amenities that are listed in the webpage as well. Some other pieces of information shares as far as timeline, what to expect next. We're in the public information session from March through May. The next things that are going to happen is Beyond Base is going to send out a large trifold mailer to registered voter households. When is that? That's scheduled for April.
April, is it 9th,
So that would be April 6th.
6th?
And then after that, on April 9th, we're gonna have a videographer on site doing a informational video about the project. We also will be getting some interior renderings from Williams Architect that will show us, similar to how you saw the exterior renderings with really nice detail. We are anticipating getting some interior pictures that we can include on the webpage within the coming weeks. And that will allow us again to be able to visualize what it'll be like in the facility and allow the public to anticipate what they'd be using in the facility in a visual way. And then from a staffing standpoint, we'll be developing an FAQ that can be placed on this website as well, and some key talking points for our staff members in case they're engaging with the public in any way about the project, including points that you want to reference and some talking points that you want to make sure you're steering away from. We will also be holding 3 public information sessions in April. Those dates are going to be publicized on the webpage as well as in our summer program guide that comes out at the end of the month. And we're looking forward to just inviting the public to come and engage with us, ask questions, learn more about the project, and keep the progress moving forward. And then lastly, on May 4th, Beyond Your Base is scheduled to send out a text message to invite registered voter households to participate in the survey and public opinion research process. So other than that, we're happy and excited to answer any questions there might be.
Thank you, John. I was in attendance at the citizen task force that took place last week. March 6th, 2 weeks, yeah, whatever, yeah, okay, well, it was very well attended. I was very surprised that the attendance was great and just the positivity and just the excitement of the community. I think, John, you could speak to that. I mean, they were all very excited.
Yeah.
With the renderings as they were. So if you just wanted to hear on what the community has already thought, community and I guess stakeholders on what they had already thought about the presentation that John just gave us, it was very, very positive and very well received.
Yep, and we were looking forward to hearing the feedback at that meeting and seeing if we got unanimous support to move forward, and we certainly did. So that was mission accomplished, and we just feel great about the information and the feedback we collected along the way.
It was great having two of those stakeholders engaged with Williams, Featherstone, and Beyond Your Base to have all of them there doing parts and presentation. So it was. Again, I'm just thrilled with how this process is going, having been involved in other processes. Just can't commend staff enough again for going toward this route where we're really just. All the different steps.
It's been real gratifying. I mean, because we're working with the community. I mean, every action we take is based on feedback we've received from the community. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm kind of surprised, but then when we look at the process we followed, not really, because we're following what the community is telling us they want.
Yeah. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for John?
I just want to circle back to the comments that came up in the meeting about some folks were concerned about the size and whether or not it would be large enough. Was that an overwhelming opinion, or was that just a couple of folks, or what was the thought there?
I think we classify it as a couple of people offer that as a point of consideration. And if we're doing this, I'll be making sure we're considering that as an option to expand in any way. Some of the conversation included adding like a second level to the fitness center and just the total scope and our financial considerations. You know, we're still looking into all the feedback and appreciate everyone's input, but right now I think we're still kind of going towards the direction that we have and looking a little bit further into that.
But if I can just add, that's also what this additional feedback through the survey in May. Because our response or reaction to the few folks that thought we maybe should consider something larger was it's the whole purpose of this engagement is to find where's that, I guess, that sweet spot. Where is it that the community will support it financially versus it's too big and that's only going to be suitable for a handful of people. But we got to position it right.
And I guess that, and kind of looking at historically, what's our demographic and how many people, how many users will we have? Are we gonna make too big a facility? Where I know there are other districts that have done that, and they don't even have it used or half full. So I think I think staff was cognizant of that when they went through the planning process with Williams and Featherstone and beyond their base as well, to make sure that we have a well-used facility. Because I know I've spoken with, directors from other districts where they built things that turned out to be too big, and that's kind of also problematic in and of itself, yeah. So.
Right.
Thank you. Look forward to hearing the update again next month. All right, in your packet as well as the community park basketball court and land park renovation project update. Did anyone have any questions on that for staff? No? All right. Having none, we had the department updates, as submitted in the packet. No, it was like nice to see Scott Hamilton's where the last thing he puts is no vandalism. So no destruction, no vandalism. And I thought, wow, that's kind of funny how that I almost take for granted that I look at it and every month that Scott always has something on there like remove graffiti or, yeah, exactly, replaced, damaged, vandalized garbage can, and there was nothing. So it's figured that a win, right? It was a cold one. Yeah. It was a call that's true.
I did want to mention though, with the department updates, I did a special call out to Tiffany for the information she put together. I got overwhelmingly positive feedback from neighbors and friends who received the information in the mail. They absolutely loved it. They said it was really easy to read. They were really excited about it, and the way that it was formatted and put together was fantastic. So
Thank you. We'll share that for sure.
I sent an email to Dan and John saying kind of the same thing. It was really nicely done, for sure.
It's great. Thank you.
All right, ceasefire report, nothing in mention. There,
Did you, I shouldn't even call attention to it, but if you look at the ceasefire report page,
Oh,
I guess it's page 69,
yeah,
that top right, they have their little, their theme, of being 50 years old. And this is the 80s. That's, CSPAR board president Garvey there, as I would have looked with a really good head of hair.
what?
Yeah. Yeah. I reluctantly shared a couple of pictures that they took full credit to enhance. There's also a better one in their similar picture, but in their brochure, their program guide. Too, but it's I'm not the only one. They've done that to themselves too. They've made them look like they're in the last month in the 70s or this time in the 80s. So they did have a jean jacket.
To get that in the summer gal.
No. I didn't notice it at first. They had to draw my attention to it too, and I thought, oh boy, AI.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Commissioner reports. I attended the legislative breakfast in Carroll Stream, also I think it was the day after the our citizen task force engagement with John and Dan. And yes, that was John and I standing just looking through the glass at their gym when you walked in, because it is really an impressive facility. And for me, I've been to that facility before for their legislative breakfast, but it just kind of made me vision better. I'm not always so great at visioning like a floor plan and what it's going to look like. Even though I'm excited about the floor plans, but it kind of brought it all home to all the renderings and descriptions you guys have been giving, so it was kind of neat from that standpoint.
Where'd you say it was, Karen?
Carol Strang.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you walk in, it's like all, it's glass, but it's very similar to what John just walked through with like the reception desk and the open staircase and.
If
John
there's,
was a little geeked out, he was just like, here, this is your staircase, like, you know, and so it was exciting.
if I kind of just if there's an interest in, taking a field trip to a couple of these facilities, we'd be more than happy to put something in place. Because there's a lot, I mean, pretty much everyone around us has one
It's.
that you can help visualize what's being proposed with us.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just wanted to kind of bring that up. Scott?
All of the money. All of our money either FDIC insured or fully collateralized, so all of them are protected. Financially, we're roughly in the same place we are in compared to 2025. If you back out the capital transactions, which obviously includes the bond and the capital projects that we're spending ahead, if we back that and take that completely out, we're down negative 637 versus negative 592. So this is standard where we are throughout the year in the first couple months because we haven't gotten tax dollars. So we would always be in the negative at this point. It's a little deceptive when you see a bond for 1.5 million, makes us look like we're way ahead, but excluding the capital, we're pretty much right on par where we're always at. So just an FYI, golf course open for a little bit. Had a few people out in March and snow came, shut us down, and today's a beautiful day, so hopefully we'll get a good start.
Thank you. Are there any other commissioner reports?
So we got a flyer for center registration, brings it said CSQ, so we'll see you there.
right.
All right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. We are in closed session. All right, we are back in open session at 8:04, 8:05. PM, Dan, can you take another roll call?
Yes, Commissioner Tapella,
Here.
Commissioner Wessel,
Here.
Commissioner Nadeau,
Here.
Commissioner Pereira,
Here.
President Alpeter.
Here. We are back in open meeting. There's no action to take on the closed session items. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed? Motion carries and the meeting is adjourned at 8:05 PM.